Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, Verse 5. Rajovacha
Rajovacha
Samichinam Vacho Brahman
Samichinam Vacho Brahman
Sarvajnasya Tavanaha
Sarvagnyasya Tavagraha
Tamo Vishirya Mehyam Mahyam
Tamo Vishiriyate Mahyam
Hare Katayatha Katham.
Hari Kathayata Katham
Rajovacha
Rajovacha
Samichinam Vacho Brahman
Samichinam Vacho Brahman
Sarvajnasya Tavanaga
Sarvagnyasya Tavagraha
Tamo Vishirya Mahyam
Tamo Vishiriyate Mahyam
Hare Katayatha Katham
Hari Kathayata Katham
Rajovacha
Rajovacha
Samichinam Vacho Brahman
Samichinam Vacho Brahman
Sarvajnasya Tavanaga
Sarvagyasya Tavanaga
Tamo Vishirya Mahyam
Tamo Vishiriyate Mahyam
Hare Katayatha Katham.
Hare Kathayata Katham
Please recite.
Rajovacha
Rajovacha
Samichinam Vacho Brahman
Samichinam Vacho Brahman
Sarvagyasya Tavanaga
Sarvajnasya Tavanaga
Tamo Vishiriyate Mahyam
Tamo Vishiryate Mahyam
Hare Kathayata Katham.
Hare Katayatha Katham. So, translation purport by Divine Grace of Charnarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
Synonyms. Rajo Uvacha, the king said.
Rajovacha, the king said,
Samichinam, perfectly right.
Samichinam, the perfectly right.
Vacha, speeches.
Vacha, speeches.
Brahman, O learned Brahmana.
Brahman, O learned Brahmana.
Sarvajnasya, one who knows all.
Sarvagyasya, one who knows all.
Tava, your.
Tava, your.
Anagha, without any contamination.
Anaga, without any contamination.
Kama, the darkness of ignorance.
Kama, the darkness of ignorance.
Vishiryate, gradually disappearing.
Vishiryate, gradually disappearing.
Mahyam, unto me.
Mahyam, unto me.
Hare of the Lord.
Hare of the Lord.
Katayata, as you are speaking.
Kathayata, as you are speaking.
Katham, topics.
Katham, topics.
Translation, please repeat after me. Maharaja Parikshit, O learned Brahmana.
Maharaja Parikshit said, O learned Brahmana,
You know everything because you are without material contamination.
you know everything because you are without material contamination.
Therefore, whatever you have spoken to me appears perfectly right.
Therefore, whatever you have spoken to me appears perfectly right.
Your speeches are gradually destroying the darkness of my ignorance.
Your speeches are gradually destroying the darkness of my ignorance.
For you are narrating the topics of the Lord.
For you are narrating the topics of the Lord.
Purport.
The practical experience of Maharaja Parikshit is disclosed herein, revealing that transcendental topics of the Lord act like injections when received by a sincere devotee from a person who is perfectly uncontaminated by material tinges. In other words, reception of the message of Srimad Bhagavatam from professional men heard by Karma Kandiya audience never acts miraculously as stated here. Devotional hearing of the message of the Lord is not like hearing ordinary topics. Therefore, the action will be felt by the sincere hearer by experience of the gradual disappearance of ignorance. Yasya deve pada bhakti yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita he artha prakashante mahatmana. Svetasvatra Upanishad 6.23. When a hungry man is given food to eat, he feels satiation of hunger, and pleasure of dining simultaneously. Thus, he does not have to ask whether he has actually been fed or not. The crucial test of hearing Bhagavatam is that one should get positive enlightenment by such an act.
Hari Om Tat Sat Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swamin Etina Mine Namo Acharya Padaya Nithaya Kripa Pradhaine Gaurakata Damadaya Nagara Grama Tarine Namah Vishnupadhaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadhe पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्दा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Narayana Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Gopal Govindaram Sri Madhusudanam Mukam Karodi Vachalam Pangulangayate Girim Yatkirpatamam Munde Sri Gurum Dinatharinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Hari Om Tat Sat. So, Raja Uvacha Samichinam Vacho Brahman. So, a person who is not touched by even a tinge of material contamination is said to be knower of all. He knows everything. If the person is in the bodily concept of life, that means he is a fool. He doesn't know anything. Because everybody is first of all interested in self. And a person who is in bodily concept does not know who is the self itself. He is thinking self as the body and is contributing his valuable time of life in maintaining that body wherein he cannot maintain the body. It still, despite his maintenance, it grows old. Every time it feels hungry, he feeds it. But still the hunger is never finished. Again, he will feel hungry after a few hours. In this way, the body is under some other control, not in his own control. And because it is not him, he is trying to think he is him and then maintaining the body. So he is suffering and he is called a fool because he doesn't know the self-interest. When he doesn't know who is the self, what to speak of the self-interest then? When he thinks he is the body, then he thinks that the self-interest is interest in the body. So 2 plus 2 is equal to 5. With that, he begins his whole life. And everything all topsy-turvy ultimately, and entire life is spoiled. But fortunately, if one come across some good devotee from whom he can listen to the transcendental message of Lord Krishna. So that is a practical experience of Maharaja Parikshit. Here, The transcendental topics of the Lord will act like the injections when it is received by the person who is sincere in his devotional service. And it should be received from the doctor or the person who is not contaminated by material worlds. So both the receiver as well as the giver of Bhagavatam should be aware of signs of Krishna. At least the giver of Bhagavatam must be aware of complete realized of signs of Krishna. He should know all the Krishna's personality as the supreme personality, all the Brahman aspect, Paramatma aspect, and Bhagavan aspect of the Lord's incarnations, Lord's personal transcendental activities, and the Lord's purpose of coming, everything he should know. That is called science of Krishna. He should be able to talk on the supreme personality of God, its unlimited incarnations and the activities of when they are performing that incarnations. So these are all transcendental message of the Krishna. So one who delivers the transcendental message of Krishna, he himself is also delivering himself and also delivering others. So this Bhagavatam class should not be taken or conducted with the ulterior motive of earning money or maintaining one's body. There should not be any bodily concept. So it should be only Bhagavatam propagates only pure, unalloyed, loving devotion service to Krishna. It is full of wonderful different incarnations and the transcendental activities of the Lord and his devotees. So there is nothing material. That is why this Bhagavata Purana is called Amala Purana. Mala means material, A means no. There is nothing material in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And Parikshit Maharaj is such a pure devotee that he is identifying the qualification of Sukadeva Goswami as well as the qualification and the impact of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is very, very important. So we must understand the transcendental message are generally received properly in the chain of disciplic succession, which is called parampara. Unless therefore Bhagavatam or any other Vedic literature are received through the parampara system, the reception of knowledge is not bona fide. So here, Sukadeva Goswami and Parikshit Maharaj and all other those who are saintly persons assembled there receiving this Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami, everybody is bona fide because the reception of knowledge is coming from the parampara. Vyasadeva delivered the message to Sukadeva Goswami, and from Sukadeva Goswami, along with Parikshit Maharaj, Suta Goswami has received the message. So we should receive the message from Bhagavatam, from Suta Goswami. These Naimishanya Rishis are receiving the knowledge from Suta Goswami, who is the representative of the Sukadeva Goswami. Emperor Parikshit received the information of his death in time. He at once left his kingdom, his family, sat down on the bank of the Ganges, fast until death. All great sages, rishis, philosophers, because when he knows that he is going to die only after 7 days, what is the need of eating? What is the need of drinking water? What is the need of sleeping? Because anyway, for next 7 days, I will not die. So why should I try to maintain this body now? I'm going to die only after 7 days. So let me give up all kind of material activities and hear what is relevant for the soul. This is intelligent. When I already know that I'm going to die after 7 days, so my eating or not eating is not going to keep me alive or kill me before 7 days, right? That is already given, guaranteed. Okay, so this is a very big benediction to Parikshit Maharaj that he knows for sure after 7 days only I'm going to die. So why should I unnecessarily waste my time in eating and maintaining this body? Let me work for the soul, dedicated 24 hours both day and night. So that is called Bhagavata Shraddha. Not that 7 days running recitation, professional recitation of Bhagavatam 2 hours a day for want of money, name, fame, glory. No, not nonsense. Bhagavata Shraddha does not mean that. So Emperor Parikshit, you can see that 45 minutes was spoken Bhagavad Gita between a conversation between Arjuna and Krishna. That Bhagavad Gita, which is a 45 minutes conversation between two lifelong friends, is understood after accepting initiation throughout our life. It requires one full life to understand. Then think of 7 days and night continuously spoken Bhagavatam, how long it will take for us to understand. This is very important point. If 45 minutes Bhagavad Gita takes years for us to understand, then this 7 days and nights, that is 7 into 24 hours, how many it comes to? That many hours of conversation between this Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami. If you want to understand how long you should, that is why it is called Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Always you should be hearing and speaking of Bhagavatam. Then only we should be able to understand. So, this is very important that when Emperor Parikshit received the information of his death in time, he went to the bank of the Ganges, and so many great sages and rishis and philosophers and mystics, they were assembled there, and they all offered many different suggestions about his immediate duty that he should perform within 7 days. But he was not convinced. At last, it was settled that he would hear from Sukadeva Goswami about Lord Krishna. Thus, this Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken to him, and this is the plan of Krishna. And both Sukadeva Goswami and Sri Parikshit Maharaj are Nimitta Matrena. They have played 100% as an instrument, as a puppet in the hands of Lord Krishna, and Krishna used his such a dear devotees for want of uplifting we fallen conditioned souls who forgot Krishna. Just see the mercy of Krishna. So this particular thing must be heard from the Acharya Parampara. So this is the recommendation of all great transcendentalists also. Sukadeva Goswami had long ago stated the same truth, that at the end one must remember Narayana, Ante Narayana Smriti. That is the essence of all spiritual activities. In pursuance of this eternal truth, this Srimad Bhagavatam was heard by Emperor Parikshit, and it was recited by the able Sukadeva Goswami, who is a bona fide spiritual master. And both the speaker and the receiver of the message of Srimad Bhagavatam were duly delivered by the same medium. One was doing Shravanam and another was doing Kirtanam. So both will get the same benefit. So this is the purport of this words of Srimad Bhagavatam. So let's go to the next verse, Srimad Bhagavatam 2.4.6. भूय एव विवित्सामि
Bhuya eva vivitsami.
भगवान् आत्ममायया
Bhagavan Atma Mayaya.
यथेधं सृजते विश्वम्
Yathedam sajate vishwam.
दुर्विभाव्यम् अधीश्वरै
Durbibhavyam adishwarai.
भूय एव विवित्सामि
Bhuya eva vivitsami.
भगवान् आत्ममायया
Bhagavan Atma Mayaya.
यथेधं सृजते विश्वम्
Yathedam sajate vishwam.
दुर्विभाव्यम् अधीश्वरै
Durbibhavyam adishwarai.
भूय एव विवित्सामि
Bhuya eva vivitsami.
भगवान् आत्ममायया
Bhagavan Atma Mayaya.
यथेदं सृजते विश्वम्
Yathedam sajate vishwam.
दुर्विभाव्यम् अधीश्वरै.
Durbibhavyam adishwarai.
Please recite.
Bhuya eva vivitsami.
Bhuya eva vivitsami.
Bhagavan Atma Mayaya.
Bhagavan Atma Mayaya.
Yathedam Srijate Vishwam.
Yathedam sajate vishwam.
Durvibhavyam Adishwarai.
Durbibhavyam adishwarai. Bhuya eva vivitsami.
Bhuya eva vivitsami.
Bhagavan Atma Mayaya.
Bhagavan Atma Mayaya.
Yathedam sajate vishwam.
Yathedam Srijate Vishwam.
Durbibhavyam adishwarai.
Durvibhavyam Adishwarai.
Hari Om. Sat Sat. So, synonyms. Bhuya, again.
Bhuya again.
Again.
Eva, also.
Eva
Eva
also.
also.
Vivid Sami, I wish to learn.
Vivid
Vivid
Sami
Sami, I wish to learn.
Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead.
Bhagwan, the
Bhagwan,
personality of God.
Atma, personal.
Personal.
Maya, by the energies.
Maya, by the
Maya.
energy.
Yatha, as.
Yatha
Yatha,
as.
Idam, this phenomenal world.
Idam is this phenomenal.
word.
Srujate, does create.
Srijate, that's
Sujate, that's free.
Vishwam, universe.
Vishwam,
Vishwam,
universe.
universe.
Durvibhavyam, inconceivable.
Durvibhagyam,
Inconceivable.
Adishwarai, by the great demigods.
Adishwari, by the great demigods.
Translation, please repeat after me. I beg to know from you how the personality of Godhead, by his personal energies, creates these phenomenal universes as they are.
I beg to know from you how the personality of Godhead, by his personal energies, creates these phenomenal universes as they are,
which are inconceivable even to the great demigods.
which are conceivable even to the great demigods.
Gods.
Purport.
In every inquisitive mind, the important question of the creation of the phenomenal world arises, and therefore, for a personality like Maharaja Parikshit, who was to know all the activities of the Lord from his spiritual master, such an inquiry is not uncommon. For every unknown thing, we have to learn and inquire from a learned personality. The question of creation is also one of such inquiries to be made to the right person. The spiritual master, therefore, must be the one who is Sarvaguna, as stated herein before in connection with Sukadeva Goswami. Thus, all inquiries on God which are unknown to the disciple may be made from the qualified spiritual master. And here, the practical example is set by Maharaja Parikshit. It was, however, already known to Maharaja Parikshit that everything we see is born out of the energy of the Lord, as we have all learned in the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, Janmadi Yasya Yata. So Maharaja Parikshit wanted to know the process of creation. The origin of creation was known to him. Otherwise, he would have not inquired how the personality of Godhead, by his different energies, creates this phenomenal world. The common man also knows that the creation is made by some creator and is not created automatically. We have no experience in the practical world that a thing is created automatically. Foolish people say that the creative energy is independent and acts automatically, as electrical energy works. But the intelligent man knows that even the electrical energy is generated by an expert engineer in the localized powerhouse, and thus the energy is distributed everywhere under the resident engineer's supervision. The Lord's supervision is in connection with the creation is mentioned even in the Bhagavad Gita 9.10, and it is clearly said there that that material energy is a manifestation of one many such energies of the Supreme. Parasya Shakti Vividhaiva Shruyate. An inexperienced boy may be struck with wonder by seeing the impersonal actions of electronics or many other wonderful things conducted by electrical energy. But an experienced man knows that behind the action is a living man who creates such energy. Similarly, the so-called scholars and philosophers of the world may, by mental speculation, present so many utopian theories about the impersonal creation of the universe. But an intelligent devotee of the Lord, by studying the Bhagavad Gita, can know that behind the creation is the hand of the Supreme Lord, just as in the generating electrical powerhouse there is a resident engineer. The research scholar finds out the cause and effect of everything. But research scholars as great as Brahma, Shiva, Indra, and many other demigods are sometimes bewildered by seeing the wonderful creative energy of the Lord. So, what to speak of the tiny mundane scholar dealing in petty things? As there are differences in the living conditions of different planets of the universe, and as one planet is superior to others, the brains of the living entities in those respective planets are also different categorically values. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, one can compare the long duration of life of the inhabitants of Brahma's planet, which is inconceivable to the inhabitants of this planet Earth, to the cate- categorical value of the brain of Brahmaji, also inconceivable to any great scientist of this planet. And with such high brain power, even Brahmaji has described in his great Brahma Samhita in great Samhita, Brahma Samhita 5.1 as follows: Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi Radhi Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. There are many personalities possessing the qualities of Bhagwan, but Krishna is the supreme because none can excel him. He is the supreme person and his body is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. He is primeval Lord Govinda and cause of all causes. Brahmaji admits Lord Krishna to be the supreme cause of all causes, but persons with tiny brains within this petty planet Earth think of the Lord as one of them. Thus, when the Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita that He, Lord Krishna, is all in all, the speculative philosophers and the mundane wranglers deride Him, and the Lord regretfully says, Avajananti mam mura manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhuta maheshwaram. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature and my supreme dominion over all that be. Bhagavad Gita 9.11. Brahma and Shiva, and what to speak of other demigods, are bhutas, or powerful created demigods who manage universal affairs much like ministers appointed by a king. The ministers may be Ishwaras or controllers, but the Supreme Lord is Maheshwara or the creator of the controllers. Person with a poor fund of knowledge do not know this, and therefore they have the audacity to deride him because he comes before us by his causeless mercy or occasionally as a human being. The Lord is not like a human being. He is Sachidananda Vigraha or the absolute personality of Godhead, and there is no difference between his soul and his body and his soul. He is both power and powerful. Maharaja Parikshit did not ask his spiritual master Shukadev Goswami to narrate Lord Krishna's pastime in Vrindavan. He wanted to hear first about the creation of the Lord. Sukadev Goswami did not say that king should hear about the direct transcendental pastimes of the Lord. The time was very short, and naturally Shukadev Goswami could have gone directly to the 10th canto to make a shortcut of the whole thing, as generally done by professional reciters. But neither the king nor the great speaker of Srimad Bhagavatam jumped like the organizers of Bhagavatam. Both of them proceeded systematically so that both future readers and hearers might take lessons from the examples of the procedure of reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. Those who are under the control of the external energy of the Lord, or in other words, those who are in the material world, must first of all know how the external energy of the Lord is working under the direction of Supreme Personality. And afterwards, one may try to enter into activities of his internal energy. The mundaners are mostly worshippers of Durga Devi, the external energy of Krishna, but they do not know that Durga Devi is but the shadow of energy of the Lord. Behind her astonishing display of material workings is the direction of the Lord as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.10. The Brahma Samhita affirms that the Durga Shakti is working by the direction of Govinda, and without his sanction, the powerful Durga Shakti cannot move even a blade of grass. Therefore, the neophyte devotee, instead of jumping at once to the platform of transcendental pastimes presented by the internal energy of the Lord, may know how great the Supreme Lord is by inquiring about the process of his creative energy. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, also descriptions of the creative energy and the Lord's hand in it are explained. And the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita has warned the neophyte devotees to be seriously on guard against the pitfall of neglecting knowledge about Krishna in regard to how great he is. Only when one knows Lord Krishna's greatness can one firmly put one's unflinching faith in him. Otherwise, like a common man, even the great leaders of men will mistake Lord Krishna for one of many demigods, or a historical personality, or a myth only. The transcendental pastimes of the Lord in Vrindavana or even at Dwaraka are relishable for persons who have already qualified themselves in advanced spiritual techniques, and the common man may be able to attain such a plane by gradual process of service and inquiries, as we shall see in the behavior of Maharaja Parikshit.
Hari Om Tat Sat. The most beautiful purport of the words Prabhupada said very, very wonderfully. that how great Lord Krishna one should know from the bona fide source by inquiring unto the absolute truth. I mean, inquiring unto the bona fide spiritual master, inquire submissively, then he will be able to declare. If you go to a person superior or spiritual master, then you should ask. You should be inquisitive for better understanding. Sadharma prachat, jignasu. Jignasu means inquisitive. Jignasu shreya uttamam. Inquisitive for higher happy life should be there. So that is inquisitiveness. So once we have that mentality of meek and humble attitude and approach the spiritual master, serve him, and then inquisitively inquire unto him about the absolute truth, he will reveal because he has seen the truth. Guru Maharaj is voluntarily giving mercy unlimitedly by talking of Lord Chaitanya, who is non-different from Lord Sri Krishna. And he is narrating the wonderful pastimes of the Lord. He is revealing to all his disciples on a daily basis, except for a few days break because of his health. Otherwise, he doesn't miss even one single day. So many different about material, about the greatness of the Lord and his pastimes, his lifestyle and his associates, everything he is revealing. So some relation should be there of the topic we speak with Krishna. Without relationship, one cannot exist actually, because everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. So, for example, the person who are in the prison, they are not outside the government, right? The relationship with the government is indirect. They are not directly taken care of by the government as good citizens are taken care of by the government. But they are still under the government only, the prison house. So this material world is like a prison house. We are spiritual criminals, denied to obey the order of the Lord. So we are kept in the prison. So we are taken care of indirectly through Maya by the energy of Krishna. We are not kept outside. But however, the criminals, they may not appreciate the service of the government. And government is bothered still about his existence, So instead of receiving some service from him, because he is supposed to serve the government, and the prisoner, the imprisoned criminal, government is, spending unnecessarily for it. That is botheration to the government. So because those who are in direct relationship with Krishna, they are always favorable to Krishna. They are devotees of Krishna. They talk of the topics of Krishna. But those who are taken care of indirectly by Krishna, those who are criminal, those who are materialistic person in the material world, they are simply trouble givers to Krishna. But still there is a relationship. Just like the prisoners have the relationship with the government. So why should we be the prisoner when we are anyway under the government's protection? Isn't it? So we can be the good citizen. So why should we be fools despite Krishna is only providing and protecting everything to us? So we can be a devotee so that Krishna also will be happy. We will also receive that happiness from Krishna and enjoy the unlimited eternal happiness, uninterrupted pleasure. We will also enjoy. So Krishna is one supreme and all the Jiva souls are part and parcel of Krishna, whether in the conditioned state or in the liberated state. So the eternal relationship is always eternal. It is not that in material world we lost the relationship of Krishna. No, we have not. But we have forgotten. We have forgotten. And in relationship with Krishna means the relationship is exhibited in the 12 kinds of humor, either directly or indirectly. That's all. For the conditioned soul, it is indirectly exhibited. For the devotees, it is directly exhibited as part and parcel. So it's not possible to separate the jiva from Krishna as a part and parcel. That's always be there. Sun and the light, electric bulb and the diffusion of light. They can never be separated. the portion is covered. So that is called darkness. So when it is covered, that is called Maya. So indirectly taken care of. So then he thinks that I have no relationship with God, or I am God. There is no God. So this is Maya. He is covered. He cannot see. So he has to be treated by the Krishna conscious movement, which means he has to approach a bona fide spiritual master and accept initiation and hear from the Guru. Then his Mayapan will be removed. Then he will understand. Oh, then he comes, instead of indirectly related, he comes in direct relationship with Krishna. Bhakti yoga means a direct relationship with Krishna. So then he is transcendentalist, he is spiritualist. So that is how one should, with the help of the spiritual master, approach Krishna. Thank you very much. Any questions or comments or realization, please do share with us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Thank you very much for the association. We'll resume our class tomorrow morning sharp at 8 o'clock. Till then, Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Vaishnav Pranam. Vancha
Vancha
kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhaiva cha patitanam
Patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo namo
namah.
namaha.
Jai Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari.
Hari